And then meanwhile, we have Trump supposedly saying to his cabinet, by the way, the cabinet secretaries are the ones who should be cutting the jobs, not Doge. And that I assume that he is saying, at least in part, because a lot of lawyers have just been like, hey, Doge can't actually cut these jobs. Please try to at least make it look legal. Always, I would love a super effective Doge to be super effectively doging, but what seems to be going on right now is